Logic, the study of belief, is about the consistency of beliefs. Since beliefs are not tangible, however, it is difficult to study them directly. So instead, we study the words or sentences that they are used to state them, but there are hazards in this method. First of all, sentence may have two or more different meanings, which makes it ambiguous. Second, the same sentence may be used on different occasions to talk about different things. So a sentence says she is beautiful could mean different things or refer to different gods from occasion to occasion. Third, people sometimes theorize, in which case the meaning of sentence from differ speaker believes. When we want to convey our beliefs to other people, we usually put them into words, unless we have an alternative way to present them as artists do. Therefore, the study of beliefs is distinct in its how then orientation. The answer has been obvious to everybody, except the philosophers all along. We should not forget that language is only a medium for communicating or beliefs. It is not the beliefs themselves. This naturally leads us to more open-minded and more logical approach to logic, taking human and circumstantial conditions into consideration for what our beliefs are and how they are related to each other at the same time. This keeps us humble with the realization that we must all endeavor to express ourselves clearly and concisely. Okay, folks, we controlled the culture in terms of communication patterns in last week's class. The gist of it is that communication in high context culture depends heavily on the context or non-verbal aspects of communication. Much information to be exchanged is implicit as it is among a close-knit family. On the other hand, raw context of culture depends on more explicit verbal expressed communication. A highly literate, well-read culture like academia is considered a low-context culture, as it relies heavily on information contained especially by words. We've seen that these differences in communication style can lead to major misunderstandings. Today, we'll talk about the practical application of these contrasts in conducting research. At first, let's look at some demographic statistics. The US population more than tripled during the 20th century. It's now estimated to be about 208 million adults, including credit to minority sector. Census figure of the year 2000 shows that 3% of population is comprised of minority residents. The different census number indicates the presence of more than 1,000 blacks, about 13% of the population, 41 million Hispanic, about 14%, 11.2 million Asians, about 4%, and 4 million American Indians, about 1.5%. White still make up more than 69%, but that percentage is declining. As you can see, the figure was 75 monthly. The Hispanic and Asian population in particular have been increasing very rapidly. This fact substantiates our claim that processing skills is becoming more and critical in our sorts of research. When you study involving the human subject, first of all, we have to prepare to know the people in the study groups in terms of their cultural and socioeconomic background. Your research should identify the cultural groups of your subject because even among the immigrant groups from the same country, there are significant cultural variations resulting from differences in education, degree of assimilation, and socioeconomic status. Second, we have to be aware of the sensitive nature of this type of research and try to avoid even the appearance of stereotyping and try to reach out to all people individually. Well, successful cultural communication begins with knowledge, as they say. This high and low context comparison here gives us the handle on communicator across cultural boundaries. Note that the hidden culture of poverty and illiteracy also exists within communities, and this issue must be addressed when conducting interviews and meetings. Literacy is a big problem. A result of the government's National Adult Literacy Survey shows that 46 to 55 in this country performed at the borderline level of functional literacy. This found that to a whopping 90 million people. So written community with high literacy. This reference program for communicating detailed, highly technical information. Consequently, consideration. Every effort must be made to reach the communities to make our study population representative one. Well, okay, then let's go over the communication watch list here. You are supposed to read the whole list over and summarize it. This should make more aware that responses to communication reaches and emphasis. Item 1 is a number of communication. But can you explain this to the class? Non-verbal communication is carried out through intangible in your body like state, relationship, and stuff like that. It's effective communication many other than spoken words. Right. Study shows that 60% communication is non-verbal. Delivery. Okay. However, second is the rest. Eye contact. When most of us were told to look at the person we were talking with listening to him, but in some cultures, looking down in consideration a sign of respect, and direct eye contact is regarded as confrontational. Americans tend to think you're untrustworthy if you don't look them in the eyes. There's a pros item 3 is smiling. How can it be a problem? Can I take that one? Sure, go ahead. Well, what we have here is sort of a false positive problem, so to speak. I mean, when you don't share the smile with them on the subject, it may not necessarily mean you fail to communicate with them. Empathy towards people from different express emotional stuff in ways that are different and somehow unfamiliar to us. A small another may not significant agreement. It can mean that they were just being polite to you, and she may not either agree with you. Understand? Yeah, I understand even here in the States, but those don't smile as much as that's true, is it? Well, okay, Next item is touching. In many cultures, it is considered improper to touch a stranger. In a study cited here, a group of researchers counted casual touches during a conversation in a cafe in different countries. A total were recorded in two plural in fraud and zero in random. This tells you when in doubt, do not touch other than maybe a formal handshake. And also, don't touch with the left hand because in some cultures, it is considered taboo. Oh, okay, item 5 is space, which means interpersonal space. In the United States, many people stand and are from each other without even willing doing it. It's just a reflex. In some Asian cultures, people stand further apart. And in some Hispanic and Latino people are comfortable standing closest to each other around length. As always, you should have the wrong read. Alright, so far so good. There are some on the list is about the perception time. Different cultures have different concepts of punctuality. In some cultures agree to meet same time 10 o'clock, for example. This is 10 o'clock as a discrete point in time when the meeting is scheduled. After 10 o'clock is considered right. They are particular for time. Other cultures see the meeting time as a diffuse point, and annual floor between 10 and say 10:30 is considered punctual. Mind you, this does not give you license to be right. You must be on time as always, but you must also be prepared to be right. You guys are surprised. I can add a thing or two from my experience here. First of all, we should avoid humor and jokes. American humor often depends on the wordplay that don't translate well and can unnecessarily confuse your listener. Rely always on present facial expression instead. In technical front, we should always use visual aids whenever possible. A picture really is worse than some words. The use of visual can make your job much easier. As I said last week, we must recognize our own culturally bounded assumptions and perspective. So try to communicate respect and to demonstrate flexibility, and most of all, try not to judge.